Not long after George's overhaul, Mr. Winston had decided to give Charlie one too. He was aware that Charlie's drivers were due for a checkup.
Your work in the yard has been good these past few months. I'm quite impressed with you. Thank you, sir. Honestly, I sometimes feel like I should retire. Charlie, you know that would never happen to you here. I'm sure once you get a good checkup and then get the right work that needs to be done on you, you'll feel like you were built yesterday. I've heard that talk before. So who's going to take care of my jobs during my vacation?
They'd find out soon enough.
And since Charlie will be having a rest, you'll be doing his work, which means...
I'll be working with Scott and Kat.
What's wrong with them?
What's right with them is a better question. They've got no class.
Come on now, dear. Kat once helped me solve a crime, remember?
Well, yeah, but don't you think she and Scott are a bit weird? They barely say a word, and whenever they do, it's always something really cryptic.
Well, Charlie sure thinks they mean well.
He thinks that, and you think that, but do they think that?
Actually, to be honest, knowing him, Charles hates him too.
That too! He'd probably laugh at me if he were here right now. Oh, hey Vincent. Do you have anything to say about Scott and Kat?
Huh?
Scott and Kat, you know, those two Union Pacific cupola cabooses.
Oh! Them! Right.
You alright?
Yes, I'm fine. Just a little distracted. That's all. Gotta go.
Huh. Well, that was brief.
See that he doesn't need that old tender anymore.
Well, here I go. Wish me luck. I'm gonna need it.
Good luck?
He'll be fine, Steve. I know my George.
George tried to leave a good first impression and disguised his feelings.
Hey, you two.
Where's the Canadian boy?
Probably got pushed into the main line again, sister.
Actually, he's going to be down for an overhaul for the next few weeks, so I will be pulling most of your trains in the meantime.
Any objections to this, sister?
Not at all, brother. It's good to have some new fish to fry.
I really don't want to know what they mean by fish to fry.
Meanwhile, Vincent was in a very similar mood to George.
I'm not happy.
Is it due to the fact that you had to pull a freight train this afternoon?
You know I'm over that.
Is Bert back?
No. He was moved to Toronto.
You finally realized that Union Pacific is better than Southern Pacific?
Shut up.
I'm just pulling your wheels, bud. But seriously, what's up?
It's that tender.
What about it? It's just an old tender, nothing to it.
Nick, that tender belonged to one of my cousins.
What? But that's from the Western Pacific.
I take it you never met a GS-64 while you were on the Union Pacific?
Not really. What were they?
16 GS-6s were built for the Southern Pacific. But 6 of them, numbers 481 to 486, were used on the Western Pacific and were classified as GS-64s.
Ah, I see.
And to add insult to injury, I knew the engine that Pacific Tender belonged to. His name was Lewis, number 484.
Was he scrapped?
He was more than scrapped. You know how the Western Pacific was one of the first railroads to retire steam, right?
Yeah?
When they retired steam, they sent him and 2 other GS-64s over to the Southern Pacific for part sources. We all felt really guilty about taking them.
Oh, jeez. To think I almost ended up that way, too. You remember that story I told you a while ago.
Indeed. And to insult to injury, Mr. Winston wants to convert to a auxiliary tender for me to use. I'm not sure how to feel about that.
I can understand why. Maybe you should talk to Mr. Winston sometime soon about the matter. That's the best advice I can give you right now.
Yeah, it's good enough though, buddy. Perhaps I should.
Thank goodness I'm between her and these freight cars.
But George forgot that he would have to run around his train later.
Nice to see your face close up, Blue Boy.
Thanks. You know I'm not enjoying your presence, right?
Of course, but I don't care.
What did I expect?
Later that day, George stopped by the workshop to see Charlie, who was in the process of being inspected.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's the spot. Ooh. Yeah, that's it right there.
Charlie, can I talk to you?
And interrupt my massage therapy?
You're an engine. You don't get massage therapy sessions. Anyways, I want to talk to you about Scott and Kat.
You mean the lemony creeps? Come on, man. You shouldn't have mentioned them. I need a break from them already.
And you know more about them than I do. Can you at least give me some tips on how to deal with them?
They're not my problem anymore. Figure it out yourself.
Some hard worker you are, prick.
George is such a baby.
What's the matter, George?
What do you think?
Oh, Charlie's being rude again?
You'd think he'd at least try to give me some advice on how to deal with those creepy caboose.
Is caboose even a real term?
Regardless, all he did was just say, "They're not my problem anymore. Figure it out yourself." The nerve of that engine.
Tell me about it.
I have no clue why Mr. Winston keeps that jerk around. All he does is harass everyone else.
Well, Charlie does work hard.
Yeah, right. All I ever see him do when he's around is provoke us.
And I don't even know how I'm gonna deal with those creeps.
Tell you what, you can borrow our caboose for tomorrow if you want. We'll try to deal with them civilly.
Thanks, and good luck.
Next morning, George did just that.
Orange versus yellow. An interesting competition. You know, it's nice that you don't talk. What the heck? Well, that went well. Not. How on earth do Jerry and Michelle handle this piece of junk? There. No more issues. I sure hope. And this is what happens when I speak too soon.
Huh. Well, George. So you don't know your own strength, is that it?
Very funny.
Jokes aside, you are aware this caboose is a defect, right?
Wait, what?
Yeah, this caboose has been having truck issues lately. It was meant to be taken to the repair yard later today, but guess it'll need even more repairs now.
Are you serious?
Nope. But I'll get this mess cleaned up, and then you can go get another one.
This would happen.
He got back soon enough.
Oh. Hey, George.
I know what you're thinking, and all I want to know is why didn't you warn me about the defected caboose?
We just forgot about it. Honestly. I'm sorry.
I'll take the creeps back then for the next journey.
Deal.
How did you deal with them anyway?
Michelle and I just sing our favorite song, On the Milwaukee Road, during the trip. Singing takes our minds off of these kinds of situations.
Might work. I'll have to remember that.
Had fun with one of the other cabooses, George?
Honestly, no. No, I didn't. I ran into a caboose that had truck issues, and it took a lot of strain just to move it alone.
Yeah, I know my sister and I are weird, but we do have really good bearings.
Huh. I didn't really pay attention to that.
You should see yourself.
I can't handle this much longer.
What's with him? Say, this is actually much smoother than that caboose from yesterday. I can't believe I haven't noticed this before.
For the next few days, George had no mechanical issues with either Scott or Kat. He found that they were actually smooth runners, and he began to warm up to them. Soon enough, Mr. Winston came to see him.
George, how has Scott and Kat treat you?
Actually, once you get to know them, I found that they're quite reliable. Yep, I've gotten to know them better during our time working together, and yeah, they work a lot better than that one Milwaukee Road cupola who Jerry and Michelle didn't warn me about.
They must like you or something. I remember one time where Kat was having issues with her brakes and Charlie was having none of it.
Maybe. Funny too, and they say Charlie's used to them.
Excellent. Speaking of Charlie, his overhaul is almost complete. So I'm happy to say that you two will be back to working together soon.
Hurrah!
Whoa there, you two. Don't get too excited. Ugh. It's been a long day. I'm off to get some rest. Good night, you two.
Good night.
Mr. Winston, sir, Oh! Of all the times for him to leave.
Vincent, what's up?
I wanted to talk to him about something that's been getting under my streamlining.
What's that?
Oh, it's... well...
Vincent told George about the old tender and the GS64s.
Oh, I can kind of relate, actually.
You can?
While I was being repaired, a few of my brothers were, of all things, sold for scrap, and one of them was salvaged for parts, so I could be fully repaired.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty unbearable, but I really was left with no other choice. But as for your scenario, I have a proposal for you.
What's that?
Why don't you give Mr. Winston's idea a chance? I get the feeling, that Lewis would be honored to still be helping one of his cousins. if you know what I mean.
Well, it may not be what I wanted, but I suppose I can try it.
Hey man, I wasn't comfortable working with Scott and Kat when Mr. Vincent asked me to work with them, but as time went on, I was able to get used to them more and more. Maybe you'll find that it'll be the same scenario for you.
You know, you do have a point, George. Thanks for that.
Anytime.
A few days later, Charlie was making test runs and was enjoying himself.
Look at me! Look at me! I feel as good as new!
Don't we know it?
What's the matter, rotten oranges? Jealous that the elders always get more attention? Look at me. New tenor tank, new smoke box, got my wheels machined. And
Michelle winked at Jerry, but Charlie didn't notice. So, Charlie, when will you start pulling trains again?
Tomorrow morning. It would be a grand return if it weren't those two creeps.
I thought you were used to them.
I am, but that doesn't mean I like them. All the same, though, they're much more fun to have around than you two.
All right, then. I guess you won't be taking over the train I was meant to deliver to Chicago tomorrow. Would you want to do it, Jerry?
Well, it would be an honor, I'll admit. But...
Hey, hold on for a second there. What freight train are you talking about?
I was meant to take a freight train to Chicago tomorrow. But since you haven't been out there for a while, we reckoned that maybe you could take it. That would make a great debut, wouldn't it?
Of course it would. How many cars? What time does it depart?
5 freight cars, and it's scheduled to leave here at 10.
5 cars? Oh, that's nothing. Count me in.
Charlie was very excited the next morning.
Is the train ready for me to take?
Why, yes. I've already prepared it for you. It's over on the 3rd siding. Several engines were at the yard waiting to greet Charlie. But his first train wasn't grand at all. His 5 freight cars were old, worn out, and Michelle didn't mention were being taken to Chicago to be scrapped.
Hey Charlie, do you want any help? Too bad it won't be from me though. I think you should figure it out for yourself.
Charlie just seethed with fury.